Good day. My name is Keith Cross. I'm an English language arts teacher at the Osceola County School for the Arts. And I want to thank you for joining me today for this brief discussion on Erik Erikson's 8 stages of psychological development. This theory was first articulated by Erik Erikson and then slightly modified by his wife Joan. She actually added a 9th stage. However, the 8 original stages I will discuss today are based on a theory that a healthy, naturally developing individual will more than likely pass through each stage beginning in their infancy and continuing through the final stages of adulthood. Erikson believed that each stage actually builds upon the other, and any stage that is not fully completed might cause developmental problems in the later stages. According to Erikson, a slight psychological challenge, or what he called a crisis, occurs in each stage of development. Let's now move to that first stage. The first stage begins at infancy and lasts approximately 2 years. During this stage, a child is determining their basic trust with the person most significant in their life at that time. That is usually their mother or the parent figure. The basic needs of the child are the focus at this stage of development, helping that child to determine if they trust this new world. Feeling regular and consistent warmth and affection will positively support the trust factor and minimize any frustration and suspicion of others, which just might lead to some mistrust as well as withdrawal. Moving now to the second stage. This stage theoretically happens right between 2 and 4 years of age. At this stage, the young person begins to develop a sense of autonomy, still looking toward the parents or the guardians as the most significant relationship in their lives. The child will now begin to explore their surroundings. They're going to learn how to control and utilize their own body and motor skills. Supporting this stage of exploration can positively impact their development. However, parents and guardians should be cautious not to demand too much or ridicule the child during this stage. This might risk damaging their sense of autonomy. The third stage in Erikson's theory of psychological development is now preschool age, which occurs between the ages of approximately 4 to 5 years old. At this stage, the entire family unit functions as the child's most significant relationship. The child begins to take some initiative and then expands upon the autonomy realized in the previous stage. Children will begin to consistently experience the complexity of tasks and learn to plan and think about accomplishing those tasks. The possible crisis at this stage could, however, be too much failure at one time or discouragement, which could lead to guilt about their own desires or wants, which may negatively impact their initiative. The fourth stage. This is considered the school age stage, usually occurring between 5 and 12 years of age. Children are now beginning to see themselves as individuals, exploring their own interests. They have friends, their neighbors, and people in school are now the most significant relationships in the child's life. Recognition, what the child achieves, as well as the ability to persevere, can positively impact that child's productivity. Too much ridicule, however, too much punishment, or failure can possibly have a negative impact on that child's productivity. Erikson's 5th stage of psychological development is called the adolescent stage. This occurs between the ages of 13 and 19. The primary crisis that may occur at this stage is that of self-identity. Role models and the child's peers now become the most significant relationships in their lives. A synthesis of previous stages naturally starts to begin, And as they approach young adulthood, the future becomes regularly anticipated, helping to shape their identity. Reluctance to commit to who they discover they are, as well as role confusion, might have a negative impact on the development of the child's identity. The sixth stage of early adulthood occurs between the ages of 20 and 39. This stage is considered by some to be the most complicated, as young adults seek intimacy and fear being rejected or isolated. This is also the stage where the wrong relationships can lead to destructive and self-destructive risk-taking. The most significant relationship at this stage is the partner or the circle of friends. Good, healthy relationships, including marriage and other bonds, can positively impact the intimacy experience. Territorialism, isolation, and rejection can equally have a negative long-term impact on the young adult's sense of intimacy. Erikson's seventh stage is adulthood. This is usually occurring between the ages of 40 and 60. This age, according to Erikson, brings with it concerns about establishing and guiding the next generation. Or to use the word coined by Erikson, generativity. Co-workers and persons within their own household are where the most significant relationships reside. The focus now shifts to productivity and what life's accomplishments will be. The ability to guide and contribute to an overall better society positively impacts an individual's feelings of generativity at this stage. Feelings of dissatisfaction, stagnation, and minimal productivity might negatively impact that feeling of generativity. The eighth and final stage of Erikson's theory of psychological development occurs between the age of 65 and the person's death, appropriately called maturity. At this age, integrity is the key element in the elder person's life. The most significant relationship becomes all of mankind. The elder person begins to look back at their accomplishments or their failures, contemplating the many facets of their life. Being content, satisfied, and productive can positively impact an elder's integrity, whereas despair and disappointment based on any unachieved goals might negatively impact an elder's sense of integrity in the last of the original 8 stages of Erikson's stages of psychological development. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope you've enjoyed my slide show.